This is the vegan anarchist. And in this video, I wrote a manifesto based off of the first Riot Grrrl manifesto, but this time it's a second wave Riot Grrrl, which is an anarcha-feminist Riot Grrrl movement. And when some people come here, I'm gonna read the manifesto. Oh, one person show up. Let me start reading what I've written. But first, I'm gonna have to see if I can share screen. So, is there a share screen option? Oh well, I have it in description. But anyways, the second is called Riot Grrrl, a second wave Riot Grrrl manifesto. Because trans women and non-cis people have been excluded from the original Riot Grrrl movement, and so has people of color. We want to make them intersectional, make it intersectional this time. Because that was one problem of the original Riot Grrrl movement. Well, yeah, they did talk about race and stuff like that. They often mostly was in the girl culture was mostly in a perspective of like middle class white women, and obviously that doesn't include trans women. In fact, that one of the founders of one of the band members of Bikini Kill has showed up to trans exclusionary women's festival and has not apologized for it, which is a big problem within the Riot Grrrl community. We need a second wave Riot Grrrl, so we ought to seek to end it. And then because we want to make it easier for marginalized folks as well as women and gender variant folks to support each other's work, because we must seize the means of production and promote worker self-management to liberate ourselves from capitalism and alienation, because because we must abolish the state and strive for an anarchist society to achieve a truly free and equal society, because we recognize the fantasies of reformism as impractical lies meant to keep us simply from dreaming instead of our dreams becoming true with us. We need a social revolution to achieve total liberation while providing liberatory alternatives. Because we're against bosses no matter what gender, and we seek to abolish non-consensual coercive authority with non-hierarchical free association, because we don't want to simulate just cis heteronormative standards, because we're unwilling to falter to misogynists, domestic reactionaries, and bigots. Because we women and non-cis people ought to liberate ourselves in autonomous fashion and live and express ourselves how we see fit. Because like the first wave of Riot Grrrl, we are interested in creating non-hierarchical ways of being and making friends, music, and scenes based on communication understanding instead of competition, good bad categories. Because like the first wave, reading, seeing cool things that validate and challenge us, help us gain the strength and community that we in order to figure out the kind of bullshit like racism, ableism, ageism, speciesism, classism, finism, sexism, and anti-Semitic heterosexism figures in our own lives, as well as statism and anti-sex bigotry. Because we see fostering and supporting girls and queers and non-cis scene artists evolve as integral in the process. Because like the first wave, we hate capitalism in all its form and see our main goal is sharing information and staying alive instead of making profits of being cool according to traditional standards. Because we are angry that our society promotes toxic masculinity. Because we are, instead of fighting each other, we ought to believe in solidarity. Because we believe our struggle must be intersectional. Because we are anarcha-feminists. Because we rejected the problematic aspects of Riot Grrrl, yet also recognize the good they've done. Because the work of the original Riot Grrrl movement is not finished. Because we believe in fervor that working class girls and non-cis folks constitute a revolutionary soul force that can and will change the world for real. Now, what is the point of this all? the point is that I'm learning the bass guitar, and here's my bass. So I'm playing a song in an anarcha Riot Grrrl band because I feel like the original movie of Riot Grrrl hasn't been completed. But I'm always encouraging all of y'all who know instruments or don't, but would learn and will learn to take up the mantle of making second wave Riot Grrrl music, not to be confused with second wave feminism because it's trash. Because a lot of it are where turfs and swerves came from and political lesbian crap. But I feel like as and femmes we should promote our music loud because there's still, and even within the anarchist community, still manarchists, or as the classical anarchists would call them, false anarchists. And the anarchist movement hasn't been, unfortunately, especially classically wise, haven't been too inclusive of women. And even then, like, women anarchists have been some of the fiercest fighters with anarchist ideals and thoughts. And also the classical feminists who are not anarchists have their own reactionary beliefs. But I, but I feel like we need a second wave of Riot Grrrl to leave off where they left off in terms of the Riot Grrrl movement with zines and music and blogs and all the other stuff they have now, as well as podcasting and music videos and YouTube. But I feel like that we should expand in what they left off, but also try to counteract some of their regressive reactionary tendencies, like being partially exclusionary of trans, or if at least if not fully, and that's what I seek to do. So please suggest some comments, and I would gladly like to talk about them. In case you don't know, Riot Grrrl was a movement starting in the late '80s, early '90s. It was started because women were tired of. Oh no, I haven't heard of Gloss. I have to. Oh, I might have heard about him in Spotify though, or something like that. But I have to check him out. That'll be a cool band to check out. Yeah, and we need more like women and non-cis men to make music of all kinds, and that's the big deal. And of course, women get a lot more representation, but most sound design artists, the music industry is still heavily male dominated, but the consumers in many genres are women dominated, except in like rock and like metal, which is still male dominated in terms of audience. And I would like to call out a certain woman. I can't remember her name. I forgot the name of her. But she's part of the band Bikini Kill, and the one of the members who still speaks to this day, of course, didn't renounce her showing up to trans exclusionary meetings or transphobic. God, I wish I know what it is. We check members of Riot Grrrl. Anyways, it's not really okay. Kathleen Hanna. I feel like Kathleen Hanna has and is basically needs to. I feel like I like her, but my problem with her is her politics regarding trans people. But I believe we can raise not just class consciousness, but women's consciousness, non-binary consciousness, and fight for a better society. And as the anarcha-feminists would do it, women and non-binary folks is fighting alongside men. And ultimately, though, women not only have to deal with a wage gap, but also have to deal with the problem of doing more work than men do in the household and stuff like that, and other problems like rape culture and the gender binary and other like cis heteropatriarchal norms and other things like that. But in conclusion, I posted a manifesto in the comment section. It's based off of the original Riot Grrrl manifesto. Please be free to take my idea and run with it. Just mention me as the person who wrote the manifesto if you want to. I would like some credit. But thank you all very much. Peace, justice, and anarchy. Girls unite! Fight!